This program shows how to make abandoned old toys display ready, not to restore their resale value. Got it? Let's play.
Time ticks and drips away, days burn, disintegrate, years roll along and fade, don't let them slip away. Right here, right now, today, these are the good old days. Right here, right now, today, hey, these are the good old days.
Produced by Kenner from 1984 to 1986, the SuperPowers line had 34 figures, including not just the usual suspects, but a wide variety of characters, including Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Martian Manhunter, Firestorm, Plastic Man, Darkseid, and Jack Kirby's New Gods characters, as well as a sweet Batmobile and a Hall of Justice playset. And each figure had their own superpower gimmick, often of the punching or kicking variety. In Latin America, the toys were known as Super Amigos and featured products unique to that market, including a Riddler figure never released in North America. The line lasted to 1986, spawning 3 comic book miniseries and 2 cartoons. But Kenner's policy of overpacking the same figures over and over again led to market saturation and the quick decline of the line. The collapse was so rapid, in fact, it caught Kenner off guard, as they had been planning to release a new wave of figures, including Black Falcon, Vigilante, Blue Devil, John Stewart, Mr. Mxyzptlk, the Creeper, and Man-Bat, and 2 original creations, Quadrex and Rocket Man, plus Darkseid's Apocalypse and Superman's Fortress of Solitude playsets. After the line ended, a Brazilian toy company produced knockoffs called the Superheroes line, featuring new characters Captain Ray, a repainted Superman figure, and his archenemy, the Abominable Snowman, a repainted Hulk figure from the decommissioned Mego Pocket Heroes line. The SuperPowers line continued to have an influence after its demise, with many of its molds and designs being reused by the Toy Biz DC Superheroes line in 1989. SuperPowers were fun toys, and my personal favorite toy line, and the last major DC toy line designed with comic book fans, not collectors, in mind. Man, those unproduced figures would have looked so great on my collection, but who the heck is Rocket Man? Alright, so here today we are going to fix these no-caped Crusaders. Take a look at this Superman here. It's near perfect, and the cape they have on him, it folds under and it's removable and it's perfect. It looks like a real cape. What happened with figures is they went from this style cape, this kind of rubber deal, and that sucks. There's no play value there. It turned it more into a statue. And in recent years, they've gone back to the material cape, but this material cape is just a triangle of material. It doesn't look like a cape does. This looks like a piece of clothing. This looks like a triangle of material on your back. So we are going to recreate the superpower style cape today for Batman and Robin. Okay, so first we're going to do Robin. And now we've got some real light material. When I was a kid and I would lose my capes, I would use old t-shirts, but that was too thick. So I got this real nice light material. And so we're going to make a cape for them, but first we're going to get rid of some of the edges. We're going to get a smaller piece to work with. Now something that is maybe unconventional, I cut my material, for the most part, with a paper cutter. It's sharp, it does the job well, and it really, really cuts it nice and straight. Because it's hard to get a nice straight cut in your material. So we are just going to fold it like this, and we are going to cut off a nice straight piece of material here. Go like this. And then we have our nice straight cut piece of material. Now, we don't want it to have the same problem that our Man of Steel triangle of cloth does. So what we're looking for is we want to have a taper to our cape. And so we're going to kind of mark off here. Now, Robin has a short cape. He doesn't have a long cape, so it's going to go to about his knees. And we're going to have a little fold there, so we're going to just kind of have a taper like that. I like to have a point for my capes to work with, and you'll see why in a second. So now we're going to have his cape come down to about there, and we want to mark it off with a curve. Well, there. So we're just going to fold it in half. Now you can't use the paper cutter for this one, but we can use our scissors, which are right here. You want to have a nice sharp pair of scissors. And we're going to go like so, cutting it curved up. What we're going to do now is we are going to measure Robin's neck. So the SuperPowers capes had these cool little collars that would go around the necks, and so I like to use paper clips because it's already half the work is done for you around his neck. So you can see it'll go on like that, and it'll kind of go around like that. So that's how it's going to be. So we're going to use some pliers just to cut off a piece of our paper clip. Measure around his neck. So get this as straight as we possibly can. You put it right where it's bigger, just where the cape starts to get bigger. And we're going to put a bead of hot glue here, just right along it. And then we're going to take our point, we're going to fold it over like that, and press it in. And then we're going to take our excess glue. When you squish it down like that, it dries pretty quick. And we're going to take our excess, peel it off, let it dry. And it's funny, you can have a SuperPowers figure without a cape, and it looks all right. You put a cape on it, and all of a sudden the whole thing becomes magical almost. So in the vein of classy Freddy Blassie, we're going to make him into a pencil neck geek. And we're going to move this around the pencil, because we don't want to put any undue pressure on our figure's neck. You see. So just round that like that. And then that. Again, it won't be perfectly round, but it will be perfect enough that it'll snap right onto Robin's neck. Just like the ones that Kenner made in 1984 would. Fold that underneath there. And you have almost the identical effect to Superman's cape. Alright, now Batman will never be outdone by Robin. That's his mantra. Justice and never be less cool than Robin. And so we're going to give him a cape as well. Okay, so as we know, Batman does not have a cape like everybody else. He's got little Batwing crinkle cuts on his cape. So we are going to do that effect here, very much like the snowflake effect. We're just going to go like this, and like that. And get some of those crinkles. There we go, there's his crinkle cuts. Now we're going to do the measurement for the neck. I have a tendency to I want to get to the fun part, but if you take your time, the fun part will be more fun. Like that. Our bead of glue. We're going to go like this. Again, burning our fingers just a touch. And then we're going to take our pencil, curve this bad boy around. They made these claw capes for the SuperPowers Batman, the Toy Biz Batman, and the Dark Places Batman. Sorry, the Dark Knight Batman, not Dark Places. That would be a weird toy line. I'd never play with those toys. Alright, so Batman is ready to go into action, and by action I mean to the display shelf. Again, we're not looking to claim it that it's an original, but it looks way better than it did without a cape. Let's put Robin next to him so they can fight crime together. And then for anything they can't do, we'll just compare it to Superman, who, again, I think the capes all look very comparable.
All right, so as you can see, we love the SuperPowers collection figures. putting new capes on a couple of them, really take it from something that looks like it belongs in a bin to something that looks like it belongs on a shelf. So if you thought this was cool, feel free to subscribe and watch more of our videos. If you have any figures that you think we should take a look at, maybe give a little hug to, you can email us. Our email is in the description link below, or comment on the video and let us know what you'd like to see us do next. Thanks for tuning in.